Welcome back, everybody. This is episode number 5, halfway to 10, number 5 of the CheckX series. CheckX series, if you're new here, is all about things that I'm tracking Elon on X, and today we're going to talk about what Elon said yesterday on X. He posted about 40 times, a little over 40 times, I believe, and a lot of it was actually on politics. Really little on Tesla today, unfortunately, but still a couple things. I think actually only like one or two, but yeah, not too much, but mostly on politics. But we're gonna get right into this. No time needed to be wasted. Excuse me. So yeah, welcome back. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you want to go watch the other episodes, they will be on my channel down below, depending on what device you're on. Anyway. Let's get started. First up, we're going to start off with Tesla, just get that out of the way. We have how Elon stated that Tesla will never happen to make motorcycles, an interesting one here, because we can't make motorcycles safe, which I honestly can't agree on that, because motorcycle accidents are a very big thing. And they happen very often because two-wheeled vehicles that can go 60 miles an hour plus, it's not a good time, especially when you get into those accidents. You're very exposed, very dangerous, things like that. And Elon actually added that his own near-death experience was on a road bike, but he believes dirt bikes are safe if ridden carefully because you can't be smashed by a truck, which something I could also agree on. Obviously, so yeah. Pretty much. Anyway, last thing here is that how Elon agreed to change his profile picture to a cyber cat with a Santa hat, which is great to see. And I'll try to put a picture up of it if he has already changed it by the time I'm posting this video. If not, oh well. But yeah, that pretty much wraps that up. Again, very, very little on Tesla. Next up, we're going to move on SpaceX and Starlink. One of the other big two is, first up, let's start off with how Musk referenced the Kardashev, excuse me if I'm pronouncing that wrong, Kardashev scale for measuring civilizational progress, paraphrasing that K1 is the percentage of a planet's energy converted into useful work, and K2 is the percentage of the sun's energy converted, and K3 is the percentage of the galaxy converted, which is pretty interesting. Next up, we got how Elon stated that the galaxy mind is the goal, and in relations to this K scale. Excuse me. Next up, we got how Elon reposted a clip. Elon reposted a clip detailing that Starlink is particularly helpful for disaster areas, floods, fires, earthquakes, things like that, as an example. And because the ground infrastructure tends to be damaged, but satellites can still work perfectly fine, which is a very good point. Next up, we got how Musk confirmed that whenever there is a natural disaster, Starlink always provides free internet connectivity, as they do not want to charge or take advantage of tragic situations, which we also talked a little bit about in the last 2 episodes, which again, 100% agree with there, not taking advantage of those really shows that, like, he doesn't have a bad mindset, and especially in those, like, tragedy situations type stuff. And also, Elon reposted a clip of the Falcon 9 booster landing itself, which is another little small thing there. And that pretty much wraps that up. Next up, we're going to move on to XAI and Grok. And going to get right into this. Musk reposted an expression of appreciation to the XAI team working in Memphis to bring forward a truth-seeking AI and an unbiased AI. Elon also reposted a claim that Grok app holds the highest ratings among major AI apps on both the App Store, holding 4.9 stars, and Play Store, which there wasn't an exact stars given. in terms of rating, but holds a high rating, which really shows how great Grok is in those aspects. Next up, we got how Musk discussed the difficulty of AI mastering comedy, suggesting it might be the last thing the AI gets, but noted that Grok can be pretty funny, especially when asking to perform a vulgar roast. And also, Elon expressed, adding on to this, that he likes absurdist humor, which is pretty interesting to see, learning his personality. And last up here on this, not too much, a lot of this is on politics. Last up, we got how Elon agreed that comedy has always had a place in society, referencing the important role of the jester who could use humor to say things that could not be said directly, obviously, because that'd be mean. And that pretty much wraps that up. We're going to move on to X as a platform itself, or slash Twitter, however you want to call it, and media criticism. So starting off, how Elon shared that the X system has about 600 million monthly users, which can spike up to 800 million or a billion during major global events, which is crazy. Number two, we got how Elon also believes that the X network is strongest among people who think a lot and read, which is good to see, though increasing amounts of video are on the system. Next up, we have how, in response to a lengthy expose detailing how the New York Times allegedly fabricated and mischaracterized facts regarding supposed conflicts of interest to a former White House official, David Sachs is the name, Musk replied, "Bullseye." Next up, we got how Elon agreed that the New York Times could be renamed to Deep State Times because that would be accurate, which is pretty funny. And last up here, we have how Elon agreed 100% with the sentient that the New York Times is a political propaganda machine selling anger to unhealthy people more than it is real journalism, which is a crazy take, but it might be true. I'm honestly not doubting that too much. But yeah, next up we're going to talk about a little bit how Musk posted about business philosophy, future vision, and things like governance. First up, how getting straight into this, Elon emphasized that entrepreneurs should aim to make more than they take and be a net contributor to society, like Elon himself. He also advised to create financial value, one should pursue providing useful products and services, and money will come as a natural consequence rather than pursuing money directly, which is pretty good. I don't really have much say in this as a young person myself, but sounds pretty true to me, honestly, and it's, yeah. And moving on, he also views the future involving an increasingly convergence between SpaceX, Tesla, and XAI. This convergence moves towards solar-powered AI satellites in deep space, and utilizing Tesla expertise like solar and chips, SpaceX for launches, and XAI for the AI component, obviously. Next up, Elon stated that the entire purpose of human existence and everything he is building is to turn humanity into a massive intelligence that can figure out the right questions to ask reality itself, which is interesting. Next up, how Musk claimed that he is playing the longest game in history and that he no longer cares about money, politics, or fame, which is interesting. Two more, we're going to blast through these here. How Elon replied to a comment on global governance stagnation with the statement, "War is inevitable, 5 years, 10 at most." And then also he agreed with the idea that we are part of a greater whole like the cells in our body. And that pretty much wraps up that segment. Like I said, just blast through those last two. Next up, we got philanthropy and NGOs, which is an interesting, we're starting to move into the politics thing here. And next segment's going to be actually a pretty interesting one that Elon hasn't talked about in a while, or I haven't heard about in a while, so I think we're going to get an update about that. First up, Musk stated that it is very difficult to give money away well if one cares about the reality of goodness rather than the perception of it. He has a large foundation but does not put his name on it. And Elon also reposted a clip and agreed with an assessment that said many Silicon Valley tech wives were allegedly used to set the groundwork for the Great Reset through NGO advisors and their philanthropic work. I really hope I'm pronouncing that word right. Sorry, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Often focusing on social justice and climate change, which is interesting. A little bit of a little hint of corruption there. Also, Musk agreed that Musk agreed that most charity is fundamentally driven by hubris and lacks the necessary feedback mechanism that markets possess, where companies that don't produce value fail. Last up, we got how Elon agreed 100% that the dispersal of unfathomable wealth by Jeff Bezos' ex-wife to awful NGOs was a tragedy, as it turned a lifetime genius against itself toward values values antithetical to everything he stood for. And that pretty much wraps up. And again, this next segment, we're going to talk about DOGE, which is the Department of Government Efficiency, by the way, if you guys didn't know what that means. And that's something that was launched back all the way at the start of, I believe, Donald Trump's election into presidency. And we haven't really heard an update about it in a while, so it's going to be interesting to read here. But let's start off immediately with how Elon confirmed that DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, is still happening, which is great to see. He reported implementing basic efficiencies such as requiring all federal payments to have an assigned congressional payment code and a comment field. Next up, Elon estimated that this change could save $100 billion or even, 200 billion a year for the government, which is great, and that's not unnecessary money going somewhere. Elon also added to that, and he explained that lack of such information makes auditing possible, citing that this is why the Defense Department or the Department of War cannot pass an audit. Next up, Elon warned that when fraudulent or wasteful payments are stopped, the fraudsters will not confess, but instead start yelling all sorts of nonsense that essential payments to needy people are being halted, which definitely some corruption there. Can definitely sense it. Pretty much anyone can. Next up, the last two here, how Musk confirmed that he requires connecting with the recipients to confirm the money is received when wiring instructions are fraudulent. Example, wiring instructions for DC when money is allegedly for Africa. And last up, how he agreed that the swamp is absolutely seething, that's quoted, over the efforts to stop fraud. And that pretty much wraps up that. And now we're really getting deep into this. This is the last segment here. We got how politics, immigration, and crime, which we pretty much talked about this every episode. Elon always talks about politics on X. You guys can find that out if you continue watching the CheckX series with me here. That's not an advert. Whatever. Starting off here, how Elon confirmed as true that the Biden administration devised a plan to fly legal aliens into the country and grant them parole, which provides work permits, social security numbers, and potential to have access to the voting booth. Musk also agreed 100% that migration is a concept of changing society and is the replacement of native-born voters. Elon also stated absolutely and replied absolutely that if a foreigner demands a host country accept their culture or change beliefs for their religious needs, they are an invader and should be sent back. which is honestly pretty dang fair. And also, I must say that he agreed that non-natural born citizens who openly state their allegiance lies with another country should not serve in government or make policy for U.S. taxpayers, which is, I also agree to that. Elon posted a heart in response to a sentiment dreaming of a day when the West wakes up from its suicidal empathy and cleanses itself from ideologies that wish to eradicate it. Which is a harsh statement, but, you know, it's not entirely wrong. You gotta think about that. Elon also confirmed that dropping vetting standards for Afghan flown into the U.S. Visa-free was in 2021 under the Biden administration was a deadly mistake and resulted in total chaos, referencing the Afghan DC shooter, which we've also talked about heavily on episode 1. That was the main DC shooting, more details that we replied to. If you guys want to go back and watch episode 1, find out more details about that, or you could Google it, whatever you want. But yeah, Elon, Elon reposted multiple clips arguing for keeping thugs, gangsters, and hoodlums in jail and holding judges and district attorneys accountable for repeat offenders who pose public safety risks, which we also did talk about last episode, if you guys did see that. And regarding the United Kingdom, or UK, obviously, Musk reposted concerns that arresting 12,000 people this year for social media posts is a dangerous trend and could lead to a military dictatorship. He agreed that the problems in Britain related to certain groups is a cultural problem related to the people coming from places where women are considered second-class citizens, if not cattle. Yikes. And last two here, how Elon agreed that one benefit of problems in Britain getting so bad that people are finally allowed to talk to them without being called, without being called racist. And Elon also reposted a message from Donald Trump to Europe warning that the continent is being devastated by the green energy scam and the unmitigated immigration disaster. And that, ladies and gentlemen, pretty much wraps up episode 5 here of the CheckX series. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys made it all the way through, drop a comment, drop likes, subscribe if you'd like. Greatly appreciated. If you guys have any questions for me in the comments, I will take those. And I will try to respond to them the best I can and in a timely manner, hopefully. But thank you guys very much for watching. If you guys made it to the end of the video, again, what I just said, excuse me. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up episode 5. I'll see you in episode 6, possibly tomorrow. Gonna be a bit later, pretty much around the same time that this video is probably posted, in whatever time zone you're in, depending on whenever you're watching this. But yeah, that pretty much wraps that up. Not gonna keep this outro too long. See you guys later.